Yeah, why not? Okay. Didn't bother me at all. It's wrestling. This is what they do. What are we talking about? Like, and not only that, like people who actually like are tuned into this at all understand that this crap is probably almost all of it is pre-planned to make sure it's kosher to go out there and say it, right? Like, I'd be surprised if he like didn't warn him I was going to say that. I'd be very surprised. Yeah. very public issue. Right. Yeah. They've all been doing this stuff, right? Like, you know, right. And where was he when Punk did the storyline with Undertaker and carrying the urn around and the Paul Bearer stuff, who was dead at the time, right? Right. Like, and well, and they spilled out the ashes at one point too, right? Like, where was he standing up at that point? That was bad because like that was a legit, you know, like also a legit guy who had died. But also, both these guys are in wrestling. Are you telling me that these guys would not have, um, not have backed this as well? Like, I mean, come on, right? Right. Yeah. There you go. There you go. What? no idea, actually. Yeah. Interesting. You know what? I didn't remember that story at all. I don't remember that at all. Yeah, I really don't. Right. Hmm. Yeah. Parts of it. Yeah. I didn't get the whole thing, but I saw some of it. Right. Right. Slow day on the booking tour, I guess. very poetic, but I don't think so. Right? Right. Yes. Yeah, it just wasn't great, right? Like, right. Um, I'm with you. Like, I didn't think Raw was all that great. I thought it was kind of boring. Yeah, I mean that match did take a while, and I thought the same thing. Like, it almost became like a little bit of a filler. It felt that way because it wasn't all that exciting, and like, yeah, like you weaved in a couple of little things, right? Like, but overall, you didn't really like, do much, right? Like, I don't even know. Actually, that's a good question. I'm not even sure. Mm, Well, I don't know if this is right or not, but it says, oh yeah, I guess it is July 14th, 2025. CM Punk won to get his shot against Gunther. Participants, according to this, participants were Ricochet, Chad Gable, Bronson Reed, Drew McIntyre, and Sheamus, with CM Punk being the winner. Sami Zayn. Uh, I mean, what's the date on that one? Yeah, right. Well, Google AI took me to WWE's website with the video of like CM Punk winning gauntlet match to challenge Gunther at SummerSlam. So if the Sami Zayn one was before that or after that, then this would be right. But I don't know. don't think so. In general, I mean, there just wasn't a lot going on in this episode in general, right? Like, well, I mean, I couldn't figure out exactly what they're doing there. Like, is this becoming a thing? Like, all these hooded guys are going to be some part of some like huge like faction, or maybe it breaks down to a little bit smaller faction. Um, with him, or like, is it just like a little thing to do for a little bit? Um, and plus, where are you going with that? I mean, you've only got two guys left in the vision for now. So are you just going him versus Logan, or him versus Theory, or him and a partner versus the two of them? Like, I don't know where you're going with all that. So it was fine, but like there wasn't much to it, right? Like it was just a quirky little thing they did, with the whole like, all the guys in masks to hide him, whatever. That was just a little creative like thing, and then it was over. So it's like, now what? You know? Um, but in general, right? Like after that, I mean, what are we really getting? Like what did we get out of? So like, okay, so LA Knight comes down, and the Usos are helping, but like, yeah, right, right, right. Um, no, I don't believe that. Um, I guess it's possible, but I think they've been letting them. Yeah, I don't think I believe it. I just don't think they do that. Right. Maybe, but the Brock thing is an open challenge, right? So they're gonna tell him you have to answer the open challenge. I guess I don't see it because I don't know. I think it's just weird because Brock wasn't really like, yes, like he joined them to help for War Games or whatever, which was a Paul thing. But like he's not the one who like screwed Seth, you know? Right. I thought they were gonna do I thought they were gonna do somebody like Obo in general. So that's what I was banking on, that he's gonna end up like answering this challenge. I mean, I don't know how long they're gonna have him be the the free agent, like if they're going to keep doing, how long they're going to keep him as a quote unquote free agent that hasn't you know signed with anyone. um but I think it could be somebody like Oba, but then again too, like, well, I think it could be somebody like Oba, but I just assume whatever they're doing, it's working towards this rumor that he's retiring at SummerSlam in Minneapolis, because that's as close to like what they call his hometown, right? So I just think that's where they're headed with it. I don't know if that means it's like they're going to go down this Gunther route, which I don't know that I would, but if that's what they're doing, and let Gunther keep on this idea of retiring legends, or if they do the give a young guy a big huge win on your way out the door. Either way, that makes it tougher for what you're doing in SummerSlam, right? Because I'm sorry, WrestleMania, because I assume Brock wins at WrestleMania, because if he loses, unless he loses twice in a row to end his career, I suppose that's possible too, right? Loses at WrestleMania, goes ballistic, wants a rematch, puts his career on the line, and loses again. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, yeah, that would make sense. I could see that. This is the problem a little bit too of like a lot of their like potential options just don't sound great. Right. Um, I think it's gonna get announced beforehand for sure. I'm just not sure if they're gonna drag it out till towards the very end and get it till like a week or two before. I mean, he's got all these dates confirmed that they like talked about, right? Like so, right. So I think it'll wait. I think they'll just drag it out, or there'll be a lot of like potentials. Um, that maybe come out or say something, but then he just like I could see a situation where some people come out like as part of a promo and like he just F5s them like 10 times and walks away and it's like, okay, it's not that person, right? Like I could see them doing something like that too, right? Smaller guys probably, or like, guys that aren't going to really do it and then that leads up to the big guy, whether it's like Femi or Gunther. Femi to me would make sense if you're doing something like that because he comes out and he says, "How about you pick on somebody your own size?" Right? Right. Right. That's a good one too. Like Tozawa, you know. um. That would be that would be hilarious. Uh. oof, 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 ooh. Um. I mean, it might. It's gonna for me. It's a toss up between either the Finn Balor thing or the Punk promo, right? Like those are the two exciting things. You know, the matches weren't that great in general. Like there was nothing spectacular. The Gauntlet match just got a little boring. Nice to see that like it's Bailey coming out of it, but we'll see what happens with that. But um, it just like otherwise like the matches didn't do much for me. So yeah, the Balor thing just because it's like finally, right? Like finally they've like broken this part of the group up and now you have Finn being, obviously going to be chasing these guys and it's like, geez, we've only been working on this for how long? And then yeah, just like the Punk Uso thing is just a good little like um tidbit to the story. I think that's what's gonna end up being, yes. Sure. Yes, actually, I was thinking exactly that. I actually was thinking no, because he's still. Wait, did he didn't have the AAA match yet, right? I thought it. I thought the same thing when he cursed him, but I thought it was going right into he's going to lose his AAA match, which I believe is a hair versus hair match, isn't it? Right, versus Vikingo, right? Wait, when did he curse him? He cursed him last week, right? Actually, so no, I think well, unless they continue that storyline, he cursed him before his match with Penta, and then he lost to Penta and lost the title, right? So the curse already kind of like took hold a little bit because he lost his match to Penta, and now Penta's the Intercontinental Champion. So I just was thinking it was going to go to AAA, and I totally forgot he ended up losing later that night. Yeah, maybe you could see something like that. I mean, I can't even think of the last time I've actually watched Danhausen like wrestle. I don't know. To be honest, I'm not sure. Like, did he even friggin' wrestle? Like, when did he wrestle in AEW? I know he's like done some independent stuff, but like, did he actually wrestle in AEW ever? I don't know if he did. Let's look at the cage match database. Let's see. I mean, so independent stuff in January. No, that was oh yeah, January. Well, cage match does not have. Cage match has his last match with AEW that he actually wrestled December 30th, 2023. TNT title, right to challenge anytime, anywhere battle royal he was in at World's End on 0 Hour pre-show. And then Rampage in June of 2023. That's what Cage Match has as his last match for AEW, right? That he actually wrestled. Obviously, he was there for a while, but then it's just a bunch of independent matches. Oh, We missed him at ESW, James. Well, no. Well, actually, it might. I'm just like looking through the. Yeah, 2024 is the one I'm looking at. He was part of a team called Courageous Hausen. Christina Marie and Dan Hausen defeated High Seas at ESW Evil Empire at Frontier Fire Hall in Niagara Falls. We missed him. Damn. So yeah, so like he hasn't wrestled a match on TV in on mainstream promotion TV in 3 years almost. And even then it was a battle royal. So maybe they could do something like that. I was thinking they're going to use him, actually I've meant to bring that up too. Like I have this feeling like he's going to be like their next like R-Truth, right? Like in the sense of like they're just gonna like he's gonna do these quirky comedic things. Every once in a while, maybe they can throw him in a match somewhere, or he can have a match. But generally speaking, he's just gonna do these like backstage things, and he's gonna latch on to some wrestlers at some point, and it's gonna be really funny and entertaining, and then that's it, and that's fine. Like I'm anxiously awaiting, you know, after I think it'll be a while because I don't think they do it until like he's no longer champion or something. I'm anxiously awaiting a Punkhausen like tag team just for fun, right? Like right, right. I would assume they'll do that post championship run, anything with that, because like his championship run has been very serious. But yeah, I can see that. That's okay. I hope not a lot. I actually, speaking of boba, I have a question for you. Maybe I'm just like because I wasn't as like tuned into NXT all these years. Like I don't know, maybe it's just me, but like I'm not a fan of his walk to the ring thing anymore. I think it's like I just think it's weird for the kind of character like he is likely headed to be, right? Like he's this like giant like guy, like, and I guess he could be a gentle giant, but he's like this giant intimidating like I'm gonna go face to face with Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble, and he's freaking, you know bop into the ring. I don't know, maybe I'm just being critical, or I just think it's a little weird. Like you said, maybe if I had been more in tune with NXT, I wouldn't think the same way because I'd be very used to it, right? I don't know. I think it's weird. Yeah, 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 yeah. I kind of felt that too. It was a little like it was the gimmick towards like the Nigerian thing. It also, to a degree, made me feel made me like think of Apollo Crews a little bit when they brought him in with like the staff and all that stuff that he had for a bit. Like, you know, yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. I don't know if it's gone. I don't know if it's gone, but I don't think we get it back anytime like soon. Which promo? The Yeah, I don't know if it's like Roman just wasn't available yesterday, or like what the angle is, like with like having like I understand like yeah, okay, he said all these things, and like then he also said something about like right, he said something about your cousins for bitching. Like so they're doing a little bit of like, hey now, like whatever, and then you're talking about our uncle or whatever or grandfather, whatever. Um, but it like I wasn't sure where that's going because it's still a one-on-one match. So like what are you doing? You know, unless they're gonna do some matches leading up to it, that would be a little bit more old school, right? Like where leading up to WrestleMania, we're gonna get like Punk versus the Usos, and I don't know who Punk's gonna get for a partner, but right, like Punk and someone versus the Usos, or even like a six-man tag with Punk Roman, and like they could do something like that. But no, I don't need him. I don't need to see him do anything until that match, other than promos. Like I'm sure they'll do a match or two, but maybe. I think he can get physical, but it doesn't need to be a match. Like I don't need to see him in any kind of matches. I don't need to see either of them in any matches, right? Like, right, right. Yeah, I would go with that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The wrestling on the show wasn't anything super fun at all. Um, I mean, we're probably gonna hear from Cody, right? Like, um, I'm sure. Well, they're already right. They're already doing a contract signing, right? So they've already announced that, I believe. So you're gonna see that. So I'm sure there's some promos with that. Maybe an RKO. I don't know. Maybe not. One of them is probably gonna get the one up on the other one to start. Like something like that happens. Um, I don't know if Drew is going to be a part of that or not at any point. Um, so I don't know. Jelly Roll's going to be there. So what's he doing? Um, it might take the week off. I mean, they have Jade wrestling, right? So I don't know if Bianca's going to get involved. They've announced Jade versus Michin, so I don't know if Bianca's going to get involved in that or not. Maybe. No, on Twitter. Yeah. Wow. I just look to see. No, probably not though. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I just saw that post with all those pictures too. That's brutal. That's brutal. Yeah. So I don't know what else we're getting SmackDown. There's not a lot. It's not a lot. Advertised yet. So yeah. I mean, you still got what were they saying last night? 60 days, right? So I guess like 2 months to go. But yeah, it feels that way. It did feel like last night they just took a night off, right? Like got a big push coming, maybe, right? Got to really ramp it up in the next few weeks, and then you're going hard straight to WrestleMania. I don't know. So they took it off. I think we're going to get them more frequently just because you need the promos, right? So I think you're going to get them pretty frequently. I did not see that rumor. I wondered why he dropped, other than they just wanted the Cody Randy story. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that. I hadn't seen that. So yeah. Yeah, I didn't quite get it. Like I said, I just assumed it was to get it to Randy. And when Randy won the chamber, that like I was like a little like, oh, that's interesting. Like how's that like I don't know, Randy versus Drew, like okay, but not what I was thinking. I mean, so I don't know. They did it though, so what are you gonna do? Yeah, there's really not a lot. It's a little bit of a slow week. Yep. Okay. Okay. 37, and you're gonna narrow it to 10, huh? Yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah, let's hope it gets better is the main thing. Um, no, otherwise, I don't have anything specific. It's just been slow. Just been slow. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so we need everyone to buy stuff. Maybe get sponsored by a VPN service. You never know. Yeah.